Hey, hi, it's me, Lisa Marie. Today is the day. It is day one of a new adventure for us, all of us, about regaining control over regain. I'm in that boat too, and I just didn't want to do it alone, and that's why I'm offering this. What you are going to need, though, today and pretty much every time we get together is going to be a few things. I've listed them before. I forgot to list them now. I'll put it in there when we're done. But you need a body scale. You're going to need a food one later. You need a body tape measurer, a camera of some sort, your phone, whatever, some kind of a notebook. And this notebook, the reason for the notebook is because certain things that you're going to need to do prior to actually diving in, you need to write these things down somewhere. And if you want to do it in your phone, great. If you want to do it on paper, great. The thing is there is a connection between writing it down and your brain and your memory and your ability to recall it in from your memory. It's a proven statistic study. I looked that up too, and I can put that in there as well. But there is something about writing it down and having it in print. And not only is it because of that cognitive connection, but then it's something you can look at. It's something you can refer to and use as a guide or something like that. That's why I highly, highly recommend getting some type of notebook. It could be a Dollar Tree, whatever, composition book, a real notepad, whatever you want. Just have something in order to write things down. Excuse me. I'm not positive uh, how long each week this will be, and then when I go on here and there to give encouragement, or we can comment in the comments and tell what we're thinking or feeling, what we wrote, if we want to share it, if you want to be vulnerable. But I'm planning on this first one probably being 15, maybe 20 minutes. And I mean, because that's my attention span. So I'm trying to be considerate of that for everybody. So go grab that notebook, go grab a pen or pencil so that we can do this first part. And FYI, this first step may take a couple of days to process and do. So don't worry about that. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and go grab that pen, and I will take a sip of water, and then we will be right here. Okay, hopefully you have that, or you have it handy, or you can catch up, whatever you want to do. I have notes because I can't quite remember everything. I try, it doesn't work. Okay, we're going to be real. We're going to be honest. We are going to be vulnerable with nobody else but ourselves. This is where we need to have what a lot of people call and what I call a come to Jesus moment. We need to sit down and ask ourselves, are you ready? Are you ready for this adventure? Are you ready to be healthy? Are you ready to lose the regain? But then I want you to ask, are you really ready? Really? Because, our lips say some things and then our actions do others. Pray about it. Please, please pray about it. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with whom you're praying to. But get real. With every aspect of your journey, you need to be real. You've already come a long way in wherever you are in your journey. Even if you've slipped back into old habits or old patterns, you're not alone, okay? And you're not the same person you were before your surgical intervention. You're not. You've learned a lot of different things. You've tried a lot of different things. You think differently. You act differently. Even though some of the old habits have come back, you are a different person than you were before. Okay? So, A, one, whatever. I have it written as A. A, what is your new why? And you can have one, you can have several. But I really want you to think and write down what it is that is driving you to regain control of the regain and get back to a healthy lifestyle. And after you think of what that is and you've written it down, you need to say it out loud. Yes, you need to say it out loud. And then be really brave and post it. Post it somewhere where you go often: the bathroom, the mirror, your bedroom, the headboard, the lamp, your phone. It could be on your wallpaper, whatever. Post it somewhere where you will have a visual reminder of why you're doing what you're doing now. Because we're human and we forget. We need a visual reminder. And of why that you want to be healthy and what or who you want to live for. Okay? So think about it. Definitely pray about it if you really are ready, to do this, because this is where we're going to be prepping and committing really to nobody else but ourselves and to God or whoever your higher power is. Yes, I hope that you're willing to be vulnerable and share things here in the group, but it is not mandatory by any way, shape, or form. And you can do it however you want to. And I thought I had a way of seeing the comments, and the page just went away. So if you're commenting and I don't see it, I apologize. I'll go back and read them and I'll answer it in the comments. Sorry about that. New computer, problem in chair here. Can't help it. It's all right. Okay, so A is you want to figure out your new why. Here's a hard part. And I'm telling you, this ability that we're going to have is actually a simple process. It's really simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. And wow, something in my eye. So letter B is you need to confess. Write them all down if you have to, but at least say them out loud. Writing them down will connect it and be better, but at least say it out loud, not just in your head. Confess all of your excuses, your escape clauses, and reasons for getting off track. You have to know what kind of got you here. And we all do know. We just don't want to always admit it. I'm there too. But you must get it out of your head, okay? Somehow out of your head gives you a level of and a sense of freedom. Freedom in order to take these steps forward to having achievement, having success. And that's why we're going to do this in little bite sizes, because, bite-sized steps are anything from like an aha moment to, oh, wow, I actually did that, which are victories. And I want us all to have that. Me too. Wow, this really hurts. But small wins are actually the success or the secret sauce to sustaining momentum, to sustaining that achievement. So that's why we're kind of doing this first part in little chunks. And I apologize. They're not easy. But we're going to do this. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in me. Most of the time. And then C, forgive yourself. It's as easy as saying, look in the mirror, say it out. You have to say it out loud. saying in a mirror, looking at yourself and saying, I forgive you. You've just confessed all of these things you've done or that have contributed to where you are right now, and you need to forgive yourself for that audibly. Okay? Audibly, as if you were your best friend talking to you. And you can even ask, body, me in the mirror, will you forgive me for list the things? And then forgive yourself. Show yourself some mercy and some grace. You might not believe it right away, and that's okay. But it's a step. It's a first tiny step in moving forward in this adventure. Okay, secondly, and I should have set a timer, sorry. Second thing is you need to figure out, write it down, however you're going to know this, but you need to know who is going to be your support system. That you're going to give permission to call you out on choices that you make or that don't go toward what your why is, what your goals are. You need to figure out who your support person or persons are. And if you're outside of the home, guess what? You need someone at home, you need someone in the office, a friend, maybe someone in a support group, something like that. You need to have someone who's on your side that is going to be your support. Okay? Number 3, do you have an accountability partner? And what is that? Well, that's one of these people who are a part of your support system that, who will that be? Oh, yeah. So who's your support accountability partner going to be? And it's going to be one of these people. It could be someone different. It could be someone here in the group, but it's someone that you're going to be able to touch base with and say, I'm struggling. And oh my gosh, I am afraid to be honest. Or guess what? I had an achievement and I really did it. I have an excess. Woo, woo, and you want to toot your torn. You want to toot your horn with someone. You need an accountability partner because obviously we got where we are now in our journey by not holding ourselves accountable or another person. Honesty. Sorry, but it's honesty. So the number 3 is, if you don't have an accountability partner, who's that going to be? Then, how often are you going to meet? In person, through Zoom, through the video on your phone? I just lost what that's called. Whatever source of that is. How often are you going to meet? And then plan when you can actually reach out to each other. In the mornings, in the afternoons, 24 hours a day, whatever. Because not everybody has the same schedule, but you do need someone of a similar schedule with you. And the only way to know that is to actually plan that out. Okay. Number 4, I wish I started a thing beforehand. I think it was 5 till, so it's only been 10 minutes. Okay. Number 4, you're going to get a calendar. Okay? And I want it to be a calendar that you can look at. And then I want you to think of your clock. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours. We all should be sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours. Let's go with 8 just because that math is easier. So if we sleep 8 hours, that leaves us with 16 hours a day to do the things we want and need to do. Sounds different than having 24, right? Did you just get a little bit of panic in your chest that, oh, what? I only have 16 hours? I did. I did when I was writing this, so I will again when I write it down. But we all have the same 24 hours a day. And now, and we all only have 7 days a week, okay? But I want you to now map out where your time will be spent. Do it on paper first, before you do any outward actual commitment. Do it on paper first, because you're going to notice perhaps what you're doing now. Some things need to move aside. Some things need to go on the back burner. Some things need to be kicked off. In order to have self care and take care of yourself, me too, take care of myself, I have to look at the calendar and I have to see where my time is being spent and where I want it spent in order to be successful and get back to who I envision myself being, a healthy person, living a healthy life, and what that looks like. And you're going to have to see what that looks like to you, because it's not going to be the same as me. It's not going to be the same as anybody else. So in that thing, you're going to map out where you want your time to be spent, and do it on paper before you spend your minutes anywhere else. And remember, when you say yes to something thrown in your way, you end up saying no to something else. So be a good steward of your time and your body, like being a good steward of money. And when you are, you're going to reap what you sow. So let's do the math, which I just did. You have 24 hours minus the number of hours you sleep. Whatever that is the number of daily hours you have. Now multiply that by 7. This is your grand total per week of your time to do things. Okay? So we have 24 hours in a day minus 8 hours that we're sleeping is 16, times 7 is 112 hours. Okay? So if you do a life group or a study or a fitness class or whatever craft that you do, any of that time, whatever time that takes up, that's going to have to fit in your 112 hours. Sorry, but it's true. We have to do this. I know this part is hard. I know it is, but you have to do it. You have to add up these hours to see what you've been doing and where that time got off. It's hard. Yeah, that's why I said if you have things in your week where you're driving, where you work, getting to work, going to sports, classes, any of that stuff, you need to subtract those. And don't be surprised if you're shocked. And don't be surprised if you're pleasantly surprised that you actually can see the things that you're saying yes to. But the reason why I'm having us do this, because not right now, but coming up, we need to fit in a time of when we will do our prepping. A full meal or just getting the ingredients ready, when we're shopping, cooking, things like that. We need to know when and where we're going to fit that in. You also need to know when you're going to fit in some fitness of some type. And we're going to go over that in a little later as well, starting with something very easy, possibly even in a chair. Because if you're like me and you've gotten out of your fitness habit, your body's going to holler at you a little bit. So I want us to be kind and merciful and gracious to ourselves if that's what you need. If you are still in some type of fitness activity that is working for you and you're still doing it, yay. Yay. Pat yourself on the back. Yay. That is a non-scale victory. Yay. Okay. And that's the other reason why I want you to have a notebook, because I want you to keep track of non-scale victories. Okay. So we need to know where we are in our calendar. And I think it's going to be backwards if I show you on here. But I did like a little sample of just a mini sample of when I was typing this up of what that looks like for me. And it was like, oh, wow. I need to check my time here a little bit. But we have this whole week, okay? This is our first week, and these are the things we're going to do. And it can be adjusted. That's why I want you to do it on paper first, because it can be adjusted. And I don't want you to rob yourself your sleeping hours. I don't want you to rob yourself of your self-care hours. Mm-mm. I want you to be honest and look at this and see where you can either delegate some of your things, cut out some of the things, pause them. There's it's an ever moving flowing thing. It's not just a calendar on the wall, okay? It is adjustable, it is changeable, it is movable. So give yourself that grace, okay? Okay, I think this will be the last one just because I want to be considerate, and it's number 5. So really, if you do one of these a day and you have 2 grace days in the middle, then you're right on track. So number 5 is going to be, where are you? You know, you don't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know, right? You don't know how much you weigh, really, until you weigh yourself. You don't know how many inches you've regained until you measure yourself, right? We don't know what we don't know until we know it. And I want you to have a good, solid starting foundation. Me too. So, what you need to know, A, how much sleep are you getting each night? Because the best for weight loss is a minimum of 6 hours. Some bodies need 8, 9, 10, and that'll depend on you and your body, but a minimum of 6 hours. It does a body good, remember? And it is called beauty sleep for a reason. So we do want to and need to and plan for our sleep. Secondly, or B, log this information just for data. Just for data. It's just the numbers to get a starting point. No shame, no blame, no pointing the finger at yourself, no letting your inner bully yak at you. None of that. This is strictly, strictly, strictly just for the data. Because you have to know where you're starting to see the progress. Okay? So it's just for data right now. No shame, no degrading yourself, none of that. No judgment, no worry, no stress. It's just the data. I want you to take your measurements twice, twice, and then average them out to get what your numbers are. And I have a little measuring method, excuse me, your body measurement. If you're a woman, it's going to be at your bra line. So can I fit here? Here at under your breast, under your bra. If you're a man, it's really the same place. It's under your breast area, and it's going to be your chest line. If you wore a bra, it would be your bra line. Measure that. Then your waist. Your waist is at your belly button. Okay? Some of us think it's higher or lower, but your waist is really at your belly button. And there's all types of bodies, all types of shapes, as you see in the picture of our group. And some people are straight. Some people have curves. Some people have upper curves, lower curves, whatever. It doesn't matter. But your waist is your belly button. So you're going to measure that. And I want you to measure where that spot is. And that's where you're going to measure for your hips. That way you have a starting point every time you do this, because your hips are going to change. And then your thigh. Tricky for this one too. First, you need to sit down and measure from the end of your kneecap and measure up almost to your crotch, whatever that is, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches. You're going to measure almost up to your crotch area and mark it somehow. Mark that spot where it's almost there. Like maybe you could fit your fist there if you had to. And whatever that spot is on your thigh, mark it somehow and then stand up. When you're standing up, now you're going to measure it and see what that measurement is. Okay? Do all of those first, then go back and do it again, or have someone help you, however you want to do it. But you need to measure them. And then I want you to measure your body weight and pick a day and a time where you can do that every week. and maybe even in the same type of clothes. If you are doing it after lunch, whatever type of clothes you're wearing, whether you put your shoes on or you take them off, whatever that is, when you're going to weigh yourself each week, it needs to be similar or the same so that you can have true information. Remember, it's just the data. We want just the data right now. Maybe you want to do it naked, however you want to do it. However you feel you can accomplish that same type within reason each time for you, okay? And then lastly, I want you to take a picture, at least of the front, but if you can do the front, the back, and your side, better. And you need to pick a space in your home that won't change, like a bookcase. The bookcase size is not changing. It's not going to move, and you can maybe put your heels against it and step out one step, whatever. However you're going to pick that spot to take pictures during this journey, it'll be the same spot every time you take a picture, okay? In a door frame, in front of a particular wall or a particular piece of art, something. There's somewhere in your house that you can stand in front of that won't change. And then pay attention to how far you stand to it. Are you going to be all the way backed up to it? Are you going to be a foot away? Are you going to be one of your feet, shoe size away? Whatever that is, find and pick that spot. Okay? And so it's just for the data. Again, it could be the fireplace even. Take all four sides if you can. It would be best to do, and it would really be best to do in form-fitting clothes. Not necessarily tight, but ones that show your curves and the bumps and lumps. Maybe it's a particular outfit. Maybe it's a bathing suit. Maybe it's your bra and underwear. Whatever you want to do it in, but something that on a monthly basis, you can put that outfit back on and take another picture in it. Okay? And this, you're going to save this outfit. So I was just going to say, you're saving this outfit so that you can wear it every month that you take a picture. You're going to be glad later. You might not be liking me right now, but you're going to be glad later, honest. Okay? So this week, our homework is give yourself that forgiveness and permission to just take a deep breath and start here. We're starting right here. We're not starting with what we were before. We're not starting where we were before. We're not starting with any of the before stuff that's in the past. We cannot change the past, okay? We can only do what we can do right now, today. And that then affects our future. But stats today.